This is the second New Jersey State Police training video regarding the data center. In this video, I will show you how to initiate and start the process to fill out an SRS report. As a reminder, the SRS report must be filled out monthly by each reporting agency and submitted through the repository to the state. Once logged into the repository, as a contributor, go to the left menu bar, click Data Center, and then click New SRS Report. Choose the agency. If you by chance have more than one agency that you report to, you can click the down arrow and choose a second one. In this case, I'm choosing the New Jersey 1234500 Optimum Test Agency. Now choose the month that you wish to create your SRS report. I'm going to go ahead and say February, and then the year. You have your choices here. And now choose the municipality. There are 3 here for me, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the first one. Now click Create SRS Report, which is the green button here in the lower right corner. Now you have entered the SRS edit section, and you can go in and see that you have your SRS report header here. This is the information that you put in on the last screen. And then down here you can go ahead and start to fill out your SRS report. Please note that the form is broken down into the following sections: Return A, Supplement to Return A, the LEOCA, Supplementary Homicide Report, Age, Sex, Race, and Ethnicity for Juvenile, and the ASRE for Adult, Arson, as well as Human Trafficking. You come to the right here and you choose the one that you wish to work on. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on New. This opens up the Return A edit form, and here you can set up a couple things first off. One is the auto save toggle switch. If you have it clicked to yes, that means that as you go in and you input your numbers below, if you have it set to yes, it should automatically save that information for you. So if by chance you walk away from your desk, go to a meeting, have a power hit, whatever, and you come back, that information will still be saved for you if for some reason your computer powers down, that sort of thing. Also, there is the toggle switch here that says yes for error display, and what that means is if you have it set to yes, anytime you go in and you put in information in your data, and if by chance it doesn't make sense to the repository, it'll throw an error, and it'll put a little X next to the spot where you need to go back and take a look. It'll also put either a warning or an error message for you to view at the top. And then that'll help you to decide, okay, I need to go back in and figure out why I'm having this issue. Just so you know, errors are ones that you definitely need to correct first before you submit your information. Also, if you do receive warnings, those are explanations, and they aren't necessarily ones that you absolutely have to correct, but they are warnings for you to go in and to take a look at and just verify. But errors you must complete, you must correct them before continuing on in your submission. So the error display toggle switch set to yes is a very helpful way of keeping track of areas that you need to still refine as you go through and set up your SRS report. So below the Return A section here is the monthly return of offenses known to police section. So here you would want to start to input your information. They're broken down into classification of offenses in the left column here. The second column is offenses reported or known to police. The third is unfounded, false or baseless complaints. 4 is number of actual offenses. 5 is total offenses cleared by arrest or exceptional means. And 6 is the number of clearances involving only persons under 18 years of age. As you scroll down, and you'll want to use the gray scroll bars to the right, there's 2 of them. One is the outside one, which moves the entire page, and then the inside one will just move what's within a section. You'll want to get familiar with those. So what you're going to want to do is come in and take a look at the different classification of offenses that are listed here. So we have 1, 2, 3 that you can see right now. The first one is criminal homicide. The second one is rape total. The third one is robbery total. And then if you use your gray scroll bar, you can scroll down to see number 4, which is assault total. Number 5 is burglary total. And number 6 is theft total. And then 7 is motor vehicle theft total. And then within each one of those sections is where you would input your data. So the grayed out area here, you can't click on. As you can tell here, it's giving me the strike through symbol. That means I can't do any kind of inputting of data here. But if I come down below the grayed area, this is where I can go ahead and submit the information. Coming back up. Again, so anytime you see a field that you can hover over and you can actually click on, here's where you can go ahead and submit your information. Where it's gray, you cannot. One other thing to note, here you have the numbers that tell you each section within the monthly return of offenses known to police. Here are the different columns. You have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And as you hover over each one, it'll give you a little message as to which section you're in. So for instance, let's do that again. There we go. SRS return, it tells me it's A, row 1A, and it showed me the column is column 2. So as you're filling this out, and if you by chance do receive errors, it might tell you where you need to go within the section to make the correction. So if it tells you to go to row 1B, column 3, that sort of thing, you can hover over each one of these to figure out exactly where you are. Okay, so let's fill out this section here. So under criminal homicide, I need to go ahead and start to enter my information. I know that I have one that I need to report, so I just go in and I click 1. Nothing under unfounded. Number of actual offenses, I have 1. And as you note, I'm starting to get an X here. It's telling me that there's an error, so we'll take a look up here to see what's going on. It says in row 1A, criminal homicide, murder and non-negligent homicide, the offenses reported or known to police, column 2 must be equal to the unfounded, i.e. false or baseless complaints of column 3, plus the number of actual offenses in column 4. Okay, so let's continue filling this out and see if things start to correct themselves. So I've gone ahead and I've put in a 1 here, and I'm going to put in a 1 here to show total offenses, and then nothing for anything involving under age 18. So let's see if anything changed. So as I scroll back up, the error information went away because I filled out everything that it required of me. So the repository is happy so far. So now let's move down a little bit. I don't have anything to, well actually I will. I'm going to go ahead and put in something for manslaughter by negligence. Let's say a 2 here, 1 for unfounded, and as you can see it's starting to throw errors, so I can hover over them and it tells me what the error is. So continue on and it'll probably correct itself. If not, I'll need to go back and research what needs to be changed. Let's see here, let's put in 1 for the number of actual offenses, and let's put in another 1 for the total offense cleared by arrest, and then a 0 here for the number. Okay. So that's the manslaughter one. And no errors, so that's good. Now I'm going to move down to rape. Again, I can't click on this area, I can't fill in the grayed area, so I'm going to come down below where it says A, rape, and here I can put in number 4, I'm going to report that, and 1 unfounded. Okay, it's starting to complain at me because it needs more information. I'm going to put 3 here, and 2 here. And it seems to accept all of that, so that's good. So the A rape line is filled in. Now attempted to commit rapes. I don't have anything to report here, so I have zeros filled in here. Okay, so it should show me my grand totals here. So let's take a look. Grand totals so far. I have a showing of 4, so if I look down, yes, I've reported 4, 1, 3, 2, and 2. So that's accurate. Now let's move down. Let's go into robbery. So for robbery, I'm going to show 6 under firearm. 1 here. So I'm not too worried about the errors that it's thrown because it's waiting for me to fill in more information here. And if it accepted it, good, it did. That's good. And so I'm going to fill out the rest. Knife and cutting instrument, I had 1, 0 for unfounded, 1, 0 and 0. Other dangerous weapons, I'm going to show 2 here, 1, 1, 1, and 0. So it accepted that. And strong arm, which is hands, feet, fists, and feet. 4, 0, 4, 3, and 1. So now I filled out that section and it totaled everything for me here at the top. So if you count these up, it should equate to 13. So 6, 1, 2, and 4. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, it does equal 13. Same for this here. If I add the 1 and the 1, I should have 2, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now we'll look at assault. And this was an unfounded. So that accepted it. If you notice here, it's giving me a warning here. It says offenses reported or known to police in row 4E, column 2, the number of simple assaults reported is less than the number of aggravated assaults reported. So that's just telling me a warning. I need to keep that in mind. It's not going to keep me from continuing on. So for now I'm going to continue on. I'm going to show burglary, forcible entry, no unfoundeds, 1 for the number of actual offenses, 0 here, and 0. Unlawful entry, I have nothing to show for this, so the zeros will remain. And then attempted forcible entry, I'm going to keep those as zeros as well. Larceny, which is except motor vehicle theft, I have 1 to report, 0 for an unfounded, and then 1 for the number of actual offenses, and 1 for the total offenses cleared by arrest, and that accepted okay. Under motor vehicle theft total, autos, I have 3. So this is exactly how you will be filling this out every month. And again, if something does not seem to be going in correctly, you will receive some sort of alert or warning. And so I can put in 2 for this one, 0, another 2 here. Let's say 2 here. And then the number of clearances involving only persons under age 18, we do have 1 to report for that column. And so what that does is it's got my totals here for section 7 for motor vehicle theft. It's showing 5, 1, 4, 2, and 1. Now if you take a look, it'll tally everything from all the different sections, so sections 1 through 7. And so my grand total is 28. for the offenses reported or known to police, followed by 6 for unfounded, 22 for actual number of offenses, and then 14 for total offenses cleared by arrest or exceptional means, and then 3 for the number of clearances involving persons under the age of 18. So here what I can do is I can take a look again. If I need to edit something, I can do that. Or if I feel pretty confident that this is complete, I can save it to return A. Now remember, I did already have my toggle switch set to save, so it should have automatically saved the information. I always tell people when they're working in the repository, if you see the saved button at the bottom, go ahead and click it. Never hurts to do that, just to be in the habit of it, because not every single section of the repository has the toggle switch. So you want to just tell yourself anytime you see it, just go ahead and save. So again, went ahead and saved that. Now let's go and click on the return button, which is purple, and let's see what it shows. Okay, it's giving me the warning. It says here, offenses reported or known to police, row 4, column 2. The number of simple assaults reported is less than the number of aggravated assaults reported. So let's take a look at aggravated reports. Okay. So what you would want to do is go in here and make any of the corrections or changes that need to be done. So let's go ahead and show one here. It's giving me an error. Okay. Error in row 4E, assault total, so 4E. So I need to show a 1 here. Let me back that up. And when I did that, it corrected itself. So that's the beauty of the repository. If you go to put in something and it gives you a warning or an error, you can hover over it and it'll tell you where exactly to go and look to make the correction. So keep that in mind. All right, so let's go ahead and try and save the return A now. And it looks like it accepted everything okay. If I have any other changes, I can do them now. Now I'm going to click again the return button. And this will step us back to the Edit SRS screen. And from here you can take a look. If you notice here under Return A, it gave me a check mark, a green check mark, which means everything that I inputted, the repository accepted it and validated it, so that's good news. And now I can move on to another section within the repository. So let's move on to the next video, which will be talking about supplement to Return A. All I need to do now is I can either put a note in here if I wish, or I can turn to return to working items. So let's do that. So that is how to fill out an SRS report, and now we'll move on to the next section.